Hello everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how to build a basic house in SketchUp 2025. We're going to start here by selecting our square tool, which you'll find up in your toolbar, and insert it. You're going to type 10 feet by 10 feet for the purpose of this video, which will show up in your bottom right corner. Once we have our foundation there, we're going to go up to our toolbar and go to offset, and offset it 6 inches for the wall thickness of this structure. Once we have our foundation and wall thickness finished, we're going to go up to our toolbar again and we're going to go to the push-pull setting. This is going to allow us to pull our walls up and down. For the purpose of this structure, we're going to make the walls 8 feet tall. So I'll give you a second to go ahead and do that. And it should end up looking something like this. Once we have the walls built, we're going to go back to our offset button and we're going to pull it out 2 feet for the depth of the overhang of our roof. So it should look something like this by the time you're done that. Back to our push-pull. This is going to pull up for the soffit depth, and we're going to pull that up about 6 inches. Once we have our roof fully built there, we're going to go find our midpoint, which will be shown in blue, pull it across, and now we should have a square on the roof, and you should have your model in this form. Find the midpoint again by the blue dot and pull it up. I'm going to do 5 feet for the purpose of this video. This is going to be the peak of our roof and we're going to connect it to all 4 corners. You can press escape while drawing the lines to reset and pull from the top, which will ultimately leave you with a full roof that should look similar to this. Now at this point we have the structure built and it's basically what you want to do with it. We're going to put a window in here just with our square function. We don't have any certain dimensions we're following, so we're just going to add it in and go back to our offset tool and give the window some trim. Again, at this point it's basically whatever you want to do with it. We can add a door like so. And again, we're going to go back to the offset button and pull it for the door trim, which we're going to do 3 inches in this case. After you have this built, it really is preference. We can go to our paint bucket setting, which will be our textures, and this is kind of where it's going to be your own to play around with. I would test them all out. The textures in the SketchUp library aren't the best, so if you have a rendering software, or you can also download more textures online. For the purpose of this video, I'll just kind of add textures in just to show you what it may look like, and I highly encourage you to try this on your own, go through all the textures and just test them out and see what you like. After this, we're going to give some depth to the window, just pull it out 2-3 inches, and like I said, when you type, when you're pulling this out, it's going to show up in the dimensions tab in the bottom right corner of your SketchUp, so you can kind of go around and play with that, see what you like. Make sure when you're pulling doors and windows out, it doesn't get too crazy. I'm just showing it for a bit of depth in the front facade. So just something like this. Next, what we can do is if you want to add 2 different textures, say stone or whatever it may be, we can go back to our pen and draw across. Make sure you're on the red axis, and we can add some sort of brick. Again, this is just playing around, whatever you like. We don't have any plans or anything we're following here, so I'm just adding different textures to see what they might look like. Once you find one you like, I select this one. Brick obviously has a bit of depth to it, so I pulled mine out 3 inches. And if you really want to make it look good on your sides, you can draw a line down the side here, like I'm doing, and add more brick so it shows the depth of the brick. Just like that. And then again, it's whatever you really want to do. You can draw a door handle, which I'll do a video on later, but the purpose of this video is just to kind of get a feel out of how you can build a structure in SketchUp, and after you learn how to do this, it's really just practice, and you can kind of draw and do whatever you'd like, because The most challenging thing isn't the walls, it's probably the roof once you get into more complicated structures, but this is what we came out with here. And once you do this, I'm going to start a series how to build a small home or a bungalow, and that will be coming out in a 3-part series. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like this video and subscribe for more SketchUp tutorials.